And also on the clean channel, I'll also add the tube screamer occasionally for a little extra kind of bluesy tone. Or even the BB also sounds really nice in front of it. It's a very nice, smooth kind of tone. What I love about the Lone Star especially, and also the Stiletto Deuce, is that they both are very articulate amplifiers. They really... everything I'm trying to get out of the amplifier really speaks and comes out, you know, very closely to what I'm putting into the guitar, which is important for my groove. So that's why I'm very happy with these two amplifiers. So that's how I basically use the clean tone. Going to the Lone Star lead channel, the gain channel. So when I hit the switch there, it takes the Carl Martin from out in front of the amplifier. So that's out. This is just purely the Lone Star tone with the G-force effects with a little echo. So really nice, kind of fat one. It's the first amp I've ever had where you have the bass almost rolled off. There's so much fat low end that's just awesome. And so I really have the bass above 9 on the amplifier. So it's... So I'll use that as one of my main tones, and I'll also hit the front of that with one of the gain pedals. Here's the BB in front of it. For something with a little less gain, I'll use the tube screamer. And every now and then I'll put the Octavia on for fun. That real ratty upper octave. And I got a little bit of that vibe on Helipad on the Resolution CD. So anyway, so that's basically how I'm using the Lone Star side of the rig here. From there we can move on to the Stiletto Deuce side of things. And one of the main tones that I use on that side of the world is, like I was talking about, the more of a cleaner channel, like a vintage 60s kind of clean, loud and clean amplifier. And I'll put a channel, not a Chandler, but a TubeWorks tube driver in front of it. Without the tube driver, it's really nice. What's amazing about the Stiletto Deuce is that, you know, EL34s aren't really known for their clean sounds, but this is it even rivals the Lone Star as far as a beautiful clean tone goes. So starting there, then I'll put the tube driver in front of that. So again, very articulate. Everything's really speaking, and unless I'm playing sloppy, which just happened, maybe not as smooth. But no, it's very, very articulate and very, very toneful. So that's one of the main sounds that I also use. Yeah, the second channel I have set up in just kind of a tight crunch mode. One of my favorite tones. This just sounds amazing. So there's no pedals in front of that. That's just straight stiletto deuce. Add a little echo to that. And there you have it. Those are the basic tones of each side of my my massive Mesa Boogie rig that I'm very, very pleased with. And I hope you get a chance to check out those two amplifiers. I think you'll be pleased. So the setup I'm using, slightly complex, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. I love each of these amps separately on their own. I said recently in another interview that if I was stranded on a desert island somewhere in the middle of wherever it might be, and I had to choose one amplifier to be stuck with the rest of my existence on this island, it would be the Lone Star Combo. It's just one of my favorite amps to come along in the last 5 years. But what's really kind of cool, and what I've been experimenting with, is the different amplifiers with the other one as a slave. So you're kind of mixing 6L6 and EL34s, which each have an inherent, very toneful characteristic, and so you have the best of both worlds as I'm running the rig here. But even just having the Lone Star and the stiletto deuce to switch to, stiletto is EL34, very British sounding amplifier, whereas I've got the Lone Star set up with 6L6s, kind of a different, spongier kind of tone. So mixing the two and A-being between the two is really, it just covers so much ground. I can really duplicate my resolution record front to back perfectly, as well as a lot of my earlier material that used a variety of other types of amps. And that being said, I've been using Mesa Boogies on and off at least 10 years, probably longer than that. And I've got a good friend, Mr. Steve Mueller, that's worked with Mesa for years, and I was particularly fond of the Mesa Boogie Maverick that came out quite a while ago. And as a good friend of mine, and he lives in Texas, nearby where I live, he's always telling me about the new amplifiers they've got coming out. And I've always enjoyed the work that they've done. But when the Lone Star amp came along, I was really taken aback, and I was like, man, this is really feeling like the home amp for me. I've been playing other amplifiers at that time, but when that amp came along, I thought, I need to really just play what's right in my heart, and that's what the Lone Star was for me. And the more I began working with Mesa Boogie, it felt like I found, not just Steve being an old friend of mine, but everybody that I've met in the companies, from Randall Smith on down, there's a true integrity and genuine love for what they do, a passion about making great guitar amplifiers. And it's not about the business and the money into things. It's really, truly about, they just want to make the greatest amplifier and get it out to the people, and then back it up with customer service. So seeing that in action, I'm really, really proud to be associated with a company. Not only do I love the amplifier itself, but the company, everybody, they're just great. They feel like kindred spirits. The way I feel about music and the reason that I play music and still do play music, it's definitely not about the money or that end of it. It's because I love it, and I like meeting people in the industry that feel the same way. And so with Mesa and Kanda Shokai here in Japan, it's a great family, it's a great team. So very proud of the association.